things first with the queen of Black Talk Radio, Dominique DiPrima. Go, sis. Go, sis. Go, sis.
KBLA Talk 1580. Good morning and God bless. I'm Dominique DiPrima. This show is called First Things First, and my very first thing every day, giving thanks, giving praises, and asking for blessings from the Most High, asking for the blessings of the ancestors and the elders, and stirring the pot. It's my job, y'all. And I'm so glad you could be here with me. So this is the way we do it on a Talking Point Tuesday. We call it Talking Point Tuesday because I always want to remind myself and you that this is a day we dismantle all the things we tell ourselves that do not serve us or our community. Okay, so the way we do it, hour 3, like always, we do a deep dive on a hot topic or a person of interest. And hour 2, we go national, international, and beyond. Of course, that would mean, open phone lines on whatever your thoughts are. And hour 1, we do local, what's happening here on the left coast. My third hour today, I'll be joined in studio by attorney Carrie Harper, who is the attorney on that case out at Winco, where the older Americans, a man and woman, were thrown down on the pavement by a deputy. That deputy sheriff was convicted. And now the Trump administration was in the mix, trying to change the outcome, stop police accountability. Attorney Harper, stunning developments every single day in this case, and it will be interesting to see what she has to say about the specifics, but also about what it means for accountability of killer cops under this administration. Chilling. And we are also going to get a special report for World Asthma Day. That's coming in the second hour. Right now, though, I'm being joined in studio by one of our former KBLA voices. She's a radio personality, a community organizer, a producer, radio and video producer, an live event producer.
Live event production.
Myisha, Cayro.
Yes,
so good to
Dominique,
see you.
Good to be here. Good to be here in this way. I don't know if we've ever done this.
No, we haven't. And also, I should say a mama, because it's Mother's Day week.
It is Mother's Day week.
Yeah, no, we met at another radio station that ends with H. That's owned by Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, where she worked her way up from just assistant all the way into sales.
Yeah.
And then rocketed on out of there to start her own company.
Yes. So I met Dominique at that radio station down the road that I have so much love for. It's where I got my start. I consider it my alma mater in radio.
Yeah.
And now here we are, fast forward, and Dominique has been such an instrumental part of just me moving through the city as an entrepreneur, as a producer. And I think she saw me right before I became a mom. And so we have a long history, and I'm happy to be sitting here with you and rubbing elbows and doing work with you. It's an honor, really.
Thank you. Well, we've actually done a lot of work together. It's funny, after you left the other spot, which I don't consider it my alma mater in radio. That would be the Beat.
Sure.
That would be 92.3, right? But it's definitely, it has a warm place in my heart. That was like the battleground.
Yeah.
But because Front Page, another story for another day.
Yeah.
But I remember after you left, I was like, oh, Myisha's gone. Mm-hmm. And I called you up or emailed you, and we ended up, or you emailed me actually. Then we ended up working on a project, and we've been working ever since.
100%. That's the story. And if nobody ever says it, Dominique looks out for folks. So it's always an honor to work with her. But anyhow, good to be here.
Yeah, and it's funny because people think, this is one of those dumb stereotypes, but it's very persistent, that women in the industry do not get along. The Real Housewives of radio, that we like tear each other's wigs off and backstab each other and sleep with each other's men. And that hasn't been my experience at all.
Same. That has not been my experience. No.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes there's competition, but
sure.
I think in the main, at least the talented women, of which there are many,
Yeah.
support each other.
100%. And it's so funny because I last week went to pay honor to J. Anthony Brown, who got roasted.
Right.
And it's funny because his former producer and I did not get along, but she gave me my job. And I will always say thank you to her. And now we get along. And I think a lot of times, it's that crab in the barrel type thing. And then you kind of evolve a little and you realize we are all here. There's space for all of us. There's room for all of us. And the Black radio scene, just LA radio scene in general, like it only helps you to help each other. So
I always say the sisterhood is real.
Sisterhood is real.
And, if you're not watching on YouTube, youtube.com, I think I can say this because I'm a heterosexual woman. Myisha is gorgeous.
Oh, you're so sweet.
A lot of people would say like, oh, they're going to, she's going to be giving her the side eye. And I'm like, yay, this lady right here is talented.
Thank you.
That to me is the most important thing. She's talented. She's got hustle. And what was the segment you did, which we no longer have? We miss you. Black News.
Oh yeah, the K-Black News.
K-Black News.
K-Black News. That's a throwback.
Yes,
Love it.
Yes, it's a throwback Tuesday. I know that's not a thing. Okay,
it is a thing. We just made it a thing.
Throwback Tuesday. But yeah, so if you are trying to put two and two together and you're kind of seepy, that's where if you're a KBLA delegation, that's where they know you from. K-Black News with Myisha,
you guys
Cayro.
might remember my voice.
Might. She was on.
It was on a lot.
You're probably dreaming her voice.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. Well, I thank you for coming by.
Thank you.
It's not every day I get to talk with a fellow broadcaster on the mic, and also Mama.
Yes.
And it's Mother's Day week. As far as I'm concerned, we're celebrating the whole week.
All week, yes.
And you are part of the team. Now you're part of the Bridge Street team.
Yes, Bridge Street. Yeah, so Bridge Street live event production company where we kind of make sure that our projects have purpose. We do. And so we do live event production, but it's always with some kind of purpose. So
yeah, and purpose doesn't mean we're trying to make $12 over here and $35 over here. It means helping the greater good in some kind of cause. It's labor, it's women's rights, it's some organization that needs help. I know Bridge Street, you guys did all the shows in prison for Common, the production inside the California, well, not just California, inside the prison system.
Yeah, one of the most dynamic things I've ever done. And I'm so grateful under the leadership of Martin Ludlow. We went into tour, we did a prison tour with Common where we went into prisons and we built the stage with inmates and put on a concert for the entire prison at the end of the night. And
Common performs
at. And he brings in folks that are in the anti-recidivism movement on stage with him. It's so powerful. And just like God does, the night that I was there, it rained on us. It was so dynamic. It was amazing. But yeah, that's one of the many great things that we've done. My first show with Bridge Street, it'll be 10 years in August, in September, by the way. Yeah, that I've been with the company.
Wow.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. But it was an expungement fair in Exposition Park. So
I remember that.
Yeah.
Expungement fair is what, though, for those who don't know?
So yeah, and you may need to help me here, but essentially, if you have a record, this is a deletion of your crime, essentially.
Your rap sheet kind of goes away.
Your rap sheet goes
away.
And
that was, those were the old days when we had, we were in a reform stage in California. I mean, not to say expungement is not still possible, but at that time we had just passed a certain proposition that allowed people to take stuff off their record, and it helps if you have attorneys there to help you and walk you through the paperwork. That was amazing.
It was all that. Printers, attorneys. It was like we set up office, we set up stage. The lines were there. And so I love doing work with Bridge Street because of that, because everything has purpose. We merge entertainment and social justice. I've met some of the coolest artists face to face. And we're doing it again this weekend. We are celebrating mothers and proceeds benefit the Genesee Center.
Okay, this is where I get confused.
Okay, talk to me.
It's free.
It's a free
It's
event.
a free all-day concert.
Yes.
So how are there proceeds to benefit the Genesee Center? Is it by donation? I don't get it. Sponsorship?
Yeah, sponsorship, donation. Hit me up if you want to donate, if you want to sponsor, if you want to be on site. And that's how it goes. So the community's putting it on for the moms, City of LA, and that's how the proceeds go to the Genesee Center. But yes, to Dominique's point, it's a free all-day show this Saturday, May 10th at Michelle and Barack Obama Sports Complex. And we have an amazing lineup. Shall I get into the lineup?
Yeah, we'll get into that when we come forward.
Okay,
But yeah, it's great. I want to talk about that because some of those folks, I'm not really sure exactly who they are.
Okay.
But I mean,
Love it.
I think, the theme here is mamas and Mother's
Yes.
Day. And I also have some questions for you on the mama tip when we get to that because
I
I'm
love
celebrating
it.
moms. Me and Miles were celebrating moms all week.
I love it.
Shout out to Miles's mom. Thank you for giving birth to this guy.
Same. I agree. I
yeah.
love him.
Yeah, we love us some Miles. So we're celebrating Mama's Day. We're going to find out about that. And you're one of those moms on the move because it is a Mother's Day concert, but you'll be working.
Yes, I will.
As will I.
As will
we
you.
need our own separate Mother's Day.
We do.
The moms who work on Mother's Day. Anyway, I digress. You're welcome in 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. You want to talk about your mama? Don't talk about my mama unless you're giving praise. Or, if you want to talk about a woman in the industry, which is where I started off this morning because it's a thing in LA, and I just think it's so important to remind ourselves that the sisterhood is real.
It's real.
I'm Dominique DiPrima. That's Myisha, Cayro, and you're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
All I need is one mic.
With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley. With so many shows on our station weekdays and weekends, it's hard for me to keep track of all the guests who are actually in studio on any given day. I wish I'd known in advance that LADA Nathan Hochman was coming in studio for a recent interview. Had I known, I would have loved to have personally greeted him and then asked him why LA City Council member Karen Price is being criminally prosecuted for allegations of misconduct similar to the conflict of interest violations for which former City Council member Kevin De Leon is only being fined. What's that about, Mr. DA? In fairness to Mr. Hochman, it was former DA George Gascon who actually filed felony charges against Councilman Price. I opined then on how these criminal charges against Price did not pass the smell test. I was concerned then that this was yet another wayward prosecution of a high-profile black elected, not to mention a waste of taxpayer money. I am even more convinced now that this is a hot mess. To be clear, neither you or I want a bunch of self-serving, greedy, conflict of interest criminals managing the people's business inside LA City Hall. But we also don't want selective or targeted prosecution of black politicians. We've seen that movie before, and we don't need a sequel. It's hard to watch Kevin De Leon get away with paying an $18,000 fine for repeated ethics violations, what he calls an oversight, and at the same time, watch the DA's office continue its criminal prosecution of Karen Price for issues allegedly involving his wife's clients. Motions, I might add, that were passed unanimously by the LA City Councilman. What are you saying, Tavis? I'm glad you asked. DA Hochman did not start this inquisition, but he certainly has the power to stop it. I have said it before, and I will say it again. Fundamental fairness. In the absence of fundamental fairness, we experience a cascade of deteriorating conditions. The erosion of trust, the weakening of social cohesion, alienation, marginalization, the legitimacy of authority diminishes, cynicism and disengagement grow, and ultimately, people abandon civic participation altogether. Fundamental fairness, Mr. Hochman, that's all we ask. With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley. As always, we welcome your feedback.
Attention. If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out collection letters, garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance. And you better watch out, because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it even harder to get out of debt. Don't let tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in taxpayer assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Let them fight on your behalf, helping to put your tax problems to rest. Call now for a free consultation.
Call 800-919-9077. 800-919-9077. 800-919-9077.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DiPrima right now.
Right now, I thought I had the funkiest, back of your computer cover. No, she came in with the leopard. That is leopard, right?
Yeah, this is leopard.
Cheetah, whatever it is.
I actually don't know what animal print it is. I need to figure that one out.
It might be, I don't think there's a gray, whatever that is anyway, but Myisha Cayro is with me. It's so fun to have my fellow broadcaster in the studio.
Glad to be
We're
here.
celebrating Mother's Day.
Yes.
Yeah, and I admire women like me and you. I admire me. No, I admire you. I thought about me because, and I didn't think about me because my child is in college now, so it's not the same.
Okay.
But when you're like you, and your kids are still little, and you're juggling a production schedule means 24/7, 7 days a week, any time of day or night. I don't know, how do you make that happen?
Yeah. So how do I make that happen? That's actually a loaded question, but to answer it quickly, I allow myself to be super producer the week of productions, couple weeks before productions, but all the other weeks I stick to my 40 hours, my 9 to 5, because it is a 9 to 5 job. But as you say, when it's production week, it is 24/7, and so I allow space to be that hustler just those weeks before.
And by space, you mean you have to have babysitters.
I have to have babysitters. My sister slept over. Thank God for her last night.
Thank you, sis.
Yes, thank you, Crystal. And she's taking the girls to school, and they love it. She loves it. They love it. It's great. So yeah.
But I remember, because I remember when I was on that other sation.
Yeah.
I was on that other station when my former husband moved out.
Okay.
And I remember having to go to Stevie and say, look, I'm going to need to broadcast from home because there's no way I can get a babysitter at 4 o'clock. Because remember, that show was on from 4:30 to 6.
So you broadcasted from home?
Not every day, but yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, well, thank you, Stevie.
I
said, look, if you want to have a mama hosting your 4 a.m. talk show, you're going to have to give some grace.
Set up shop here.
And he said yes right away, to his credit.
I love it.
Yeah.
Thank God for bosses like that.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah. And here's the thing. I mean, I was ready to step down because we put our kids first to the extent that we can. Mm-hmm. But I think here's one of the questions I wanted to ask you in honor of Mother's Day and the free Mother's Day concert. On Saturday, which I'll be emceeing. Is what are some of the things? And you can think about this. You don't have to answer right off the bat unless it comes to you. Remember Chris Rock used to have that routine where he'd talk about fathers and no one appreciates fathers and no one goes, thanks for the lights, Dad. Thanks for keeping the gas on, Papa. Like that. Fathers go unsung and unappreciated in a lot of things. And I do think that's true. Yeah. I think we need to go out of our way to show love to the fathers in our lives, fathers at large. But believe it or not, I still think there's a lot of things that mamas do that go unsung.
100%.
And I just wanted you to share some of those with us, if you whatever you think of. Because for me, we were talking about this yesterday. For me, raising children and housework should be compensated.
Oh my gosh.
That should be paid work. It's a lot of work. It's like you have a 40-hour job and then you have another 40-hour job driving kids places, preparing their meals and cleaning up after them, doing their laundry, et cetera, et cetera.
All of that. And then if you want to be intentional about motherhood and help them express their emotions and talk to the teachers and help them with their homework, like that's loaded as well, right? And what I am learning, Dominique, is it's okay to ask for help sometimes, but for the most part, I do 95% of it. And so how do I do that? I I pray. Sometimes things go sacrificed. Sometimes my weekend is doing laundry and getting the house together. But I actually really delight in that. And I'm trying to take a U-turn because, as you mentioned, when their father and I split up a few years ago, so I had a lot more space to just do those things. Now I'm back to hustle Myisha that I was before I had kids, and so there's laundry that don't get done. Your hair ain't gonna get twisted every day anymore.
Girl, I ain't never seen you with the hair out of place. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm talking about the kids though.
Oh,
so
the kids. I got
sometimes
you.
Yeah. So I'm saying all that to say that I'm trying to do a U-turn and delight again in just being. Just balancing the two is a lot. Being a career woman and also balancing the home, it's a lot. But I'm back to making my Instapot meals. I'm back to having a cute kitchen and a cute living room, and I'm delighting in that. And I think creating a home for kids and balancing career. To your point,
you're a trad wife to yourself.
I'm a trad wife to myself. Girl, I like that. I am a trad wife to myself. Yes.
We're baking cookies today.
We are baking cookies today. Gluten-free, though. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes, why not? But, yeah, I mean, I think part of it is that, letting go of perfection.
Sure.
I'm not going to chase you all around the house, little Negro, to get your hair right.
No, I'm not.
So you going to go to school. I'm not trying to be hippie mama, but you might go to school looking a little cray-cray today if you don't come over here right now.
Especially if you don't put that bonnet on like I told you last night. That's on you.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
No, but I think that's also a good point, which is that the trad wife is a stay-at-home mom.
Sure.
Who gets to bake the cookies and make the lace tablecloth match the lace napkins, the traditional wife or trad wife, which is so trendy now. But that wife doesn't have a job. And if it was really trad,
sure, she
would be supported by someone, probably a husband.
Yeah.
And so to me, that's one of the unappreciated things now, because moms are expected for the most part to work, or we have to because of the way the economy is.
Yeah.
But we're still supposed to do most of the cooking, most of the cleaning, most of the driving, even when we are in a marriage.
Even when we're in a marriage, yep.
And that's why I say paychecks for housework.
Yeah. That's very simple for me.
I
agree.
It's the unpaid labor that keeps the American economy afloat.
Period.
It's women and some men, but mostly women, taking care of kids and taking care of elders and cleaning houses.
Period.
If you had to pay, okay, you're not going to tell all your business, Dominique, but if you had to pay you or me for every job we did, you had to hire a nanny to watch them, a driver to drive them around, a chef to cook for them, whatever, housekeeper.
Throw dietitian and psychologist in there.
Psychologist, dietitian.
Or tutor, maybe.
Tutor. If you had to pay all those people, it would be probably more than either one of us make in a year.
In about 5 years,
So run me my check.
Run me my check. Agreed, 100%.
Now, I think with this administration, we are far away from that business model. But to me, that would be justice. You can't build your entire economy on unpaid labor and then, fault the women for not being perfect.
Exactly.
So that's my rant about the unappreciated work of mamas.
And I agree. And we talked a little bit about labor, the labor movement earlier. And I have a friend whose father was a union member, and they divorced, and the wife gets a check. And I just love that. She gets a check. And I'm like, the labor movement really just thinks of it all. So to your point, I agree. And someone's thinking about it. So yeah.
And Bridge Street, of course, the company we work for now, does a lot of work with labor.
Yes, we do.
I remember, I think you were there, Labor Day concert with Snoop.
Yes.
Right.
That was
and
great.
A lot of big labor events.
Yep.
So that's nice. It's part of that socially innovative model that
exactly.
Bridge Street has.
Yeah.
And that is what we are experiencing this week. I'm on my Mother's Day because, we don't get to talk about mamas all the time.
Yeah.
This is a free concert for moms.
Yeah.
And anybody can come.
Yeah. So it's a free concert. Anyone can come. You can get your tickets at ilovemom.eventbrite.com. It is a Mother's Day music festival. D Nice will lead the show.
Yay.
And we'll get into, yes, thank you. We'll get into some of the other acts as the show goes on. But yeah, come, bring your mom, bring your sister, bring your auntie and them, bring the mom from up the street. I got an email last night. Can other people come besides moms? Yes, this is a community event where we are all celebrating moms because, as Dominique said, they help the whole community go around.
And not only that, a lot of us are, well, not me, because my mom, rest in peace, Mama Diane DiPrima, but a lot of us are trying to figure out what to do with our moms.
Yeah.
And if you don't got a whole bunch of money, this is perfect.
It's
because,
perfect.
you know, DJ D Nice, make sure Mama has her dancing shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Rasan Patterson.
Yes, Leela James.
Leela James.
1500 or Nothing.
1500 or Nothing is funky.
Ay.
They are always jamming.
Yeah. If you guys don't know who 1500 or Nothing is, which I know a lot of folks here in LA do, they are super producers. They are responsible for some of Bruno Mars's best hits. And the list goes on,
and they have that school where they train artists,
so awesome,
singers, artists, producers.
Yep. 1500 Sound Academy.
Those guys have worked with Beyonce. They've worked with everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Everybody.
And when they play, it's because their band backs a lot of different artists too.
Yep.
When they play as a band, 1500 or Nothing, it's going to be amazing. You're going to be wanting to dance.
It is the show.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll get into that. And so you said ilovemom.eventbrite.com.
Mm-hmm.
You need to get tickets, but it's actually free, but you just need to get tickets.
It's free. We just need to know you're coming. So if you head over there and you just let us know you're coming, the platform limits 2 tickets per order, but place several orders. If there's 10 of you, place 5 orders. You're good. Come.
Yeah, tell them Myisha sent you. News, traffic, and sports and more on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. There's already dozens of delays and cancellations at Newark Airport today in New Jersey following a week of massive disruptions at one of the nation's busiest airports. That is frustrating flyers.
The flight here, we were delayed 6 hours, and the flight home 5 hours.
Mayor Philip Murphy is urging Congress to prioritize tech upgrades for the airport. New York City Mayor Eric Adams is addressing a Times Square attack where 3 migrant teens, including a 12-year-old, were arrested for assaulting police. Video shows a group throwing objects at officers trying to stop a robbery. The suspects reportedly lived in nearby migrant shelters. And Beyonce received a cease and desist from the Las Vegas Sphere after her Cowboy Carter tour visuals showed a giant version of herself picking up and playing with the venue. The Sphere claimed the imagery was used without permission and violated intellectual property rights. In response, Beyonce replaced the Sphere with Allegiant Stadium, where she'll close out her tour in July. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Joe Buck and John Smoltz welcoming you back to the City Center Convenience Mart. Uh-oh. She's looking at the cigarettes, but she just grabs the gum off the counter. Stand Up to Cancer and Rally want you to reduce your risk for cancer. Go to takeahealthystand.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
LeBron is co-chair of the Met Gala event that took place Monday night in New York, but he was unable to attend. LeBron had to stay home in L.A. because of his injured left knee. LeBron has a grade 2 medial collateral sprain in his knee and is facing a 3 to 6 week recovery. No surgery was required. While keeping his knee propped up, LeBron has more time to think about whether he wants to return for a 23rd season. Clippers president Lawrence Frank said he wants Kawhi Leonard and James Harden to remain a part of the team's foundation for next season. Leonard is 33, Harden turns 36 in August. The Boston Celtics' overtime loss to New York Monday night should be a lesson for all coaches. The Celtics missed a playoff record 45 three-pointers. At some point, Celtics coach Joe Mazzulla should have told his players to stop shooting threes and get closer to the basket. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
You really about to do it? 40 acres and a mule. This is bigger than the music. You really about to do it? Yeah, they tried to rig the game, but you can't fake influence.
Who among us doesn't like black music? But Kendrick is right. This moment is so much bigger than music. These are serious times. We've got serious problems, and we need serious people who understand that slogans are not solutions. When you want substantial and sober analysis about things that matter to you and the ones you love, this is where you turn. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black. We've got a lot to talk about.
I'm Reverend Gerald, the life coach. Is someone you love struggling with addiction and mental illness? Is improving your family's health important? Want to leave a legacy that your family can grow? Are you ready to enhance your perception of life experiences? Then wake up weekends at 7 a.m. with Urban Family Focus and get the wisdom, opportunity, resources, and motivation to live your best life. Join the conversation on Urban Family Focus Saturday and Sunday at 7 a.m.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black. Thanks for starting your morning off with a voice that speaks truth to power and the powerless, getting to the heart of what matters most in our community. This is where authentic conversation meets real action. From breaking news and politics to culture and community solutions, this is where you hear perspectives you won't hear anywhere else. This is where we come together, get informed, and make change happen. You're inside First Things First with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Good morning, sunshine. You make my day.
If you missed our KBLA Talk 1580 Town Hall, the Altadena Eden Fire, 100 Days and Counting, you missed an evening of reverence, reflection, and reality.
You gotta live in the reality because this is it. Every day, you wake up, is this my life? Don't stay in denial because yes, it is. Don't stay in bargaining where you're praying for a miracle and if it wouldn't have happened, then this is what I would have done. It did.
Our panel participants kept it real. Really real.
I think, number one, it's amazing to me how we ignore systemic racism in our community, and as a people, we've apologized for so much, but when will we stop apologizing for what we have paid for? Because the truth of the matter is we paid for this.
You can always count on KBLA Talk 1580 to give it to you straight, no chaser. When you love folk, you tell them the truth. Seeking the truth, speaking the truth. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we don't black down. Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah, so there's lessons and blessings in every moment.
Yes.
So glad to see you here, Myisha.
Glad to be
Myisha
here.
Cayro's here. She's now with Bridge Street, formerly with KBLA, formerly with the K-H. And and also you had your own company. We have so much in common, too, because we both worked for J. Anthony Brown.
That, honestly, the connectivity is so, like, it's confirming for me that I'm doing the right thing. But yeah, J. Anthony Brown, I worked with him for years. He was one of my biggest clients at my last company. And that's funny. Same, right?
Because when I left the beat, my only two clients when I started my business were both named Brown, Jim Brown and J. Anthony Brown.
Love that.
And Jay, you know how he is because you worked with him for years. He had never seen one video or anything I'd done. And he was like, okay, you're hired. I said, okay,
I love
Mr.
it.
Brown. And I worked with him for years also.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you went to, I'm so sad I missed that roast. I love J. Anthony Brown so much.
It was great.
He's one of the more underrated people in entertainment, I think.
100%. Jay is underrated. He's underrated, yes. However, people know and they credit. The roast last week really showed how much the comedians really look to J. Anthony Brown with thanks.
I think
even Steve Harvey says Jay taught him comedy.
Girl, I know. I heard that story so many times. Remember, I used to be one of Steve's sidekicks.
Oh, that's right.
I think I heard that story 100 times. But it's a true story.
Yeah.
And not just how to do comedy, how to dress and how to present himself.
All of it. Yeah.
Yeah. But Jay, I mean, yes, in comedy, you're right. Comedians do. But I think outside, people don't know.
You're right.
You remember, I don't know if he was still doing it when you worked for him, but he has these annual Christmas lunches thingies.
No.
With all the people who work for him. We used to do it in Beverly Hills. And it would be this huge table full of black people that all had jobs working for this man. What do you do? We didn't know each other. We were all doing different stuff. Well, what do you do? I work at the club.
Accurate.
I'm on the soup business. Oh, well, I'm his personal manager. Oh, well, I do his video production. You know, it's like.
I got to send him this clip. That's great. Jay still calls me. Anyway, I love Jay.
Yeah, we love him too.
And I love the synchronicity of the fact that you worked for him and you helped me. You've helped me, you know, more than I have even time to say. And I also think it's funny. Did you know Jay started at KJ at the station up the street?
That's right. And so did Mr. Smiley. Well, maybe not started, but he used to have those minute long.
Yeah.
I think that was one of his first radio jobs.
It's crazy. So we're all family. There's
all
purpose
connected.
here. It's all connected.
Okay, so speaking of connected, I'm going to be emceeing the show, and I really want my KBLA delegation to come because it is free. I love mom.eventbrite.com, but not just that, because it'll be more fun if we all come out with our mommies. But some of these folks, I admit, I don't know who they are.
Okay, let's talk
so
about
D
it.
Nice, yes, obviously. Like, if he could get you up and dancing during the pandemic, surely he can do it now.
Yes, ma'am.
And he's a hip-hop, royalty, really.
Yeah.
But Adriana Milanes brothers?
Yes.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, so we have a lineup for the Latino crowd. And
Yes.
Adriana Milanes brothers, they're a staple in the Latin community, as well as Sonora Dinamita. We also have Las Catrinas. It's a mariachi group that'll open the show for us. And so, and Trineri, which is an R&B type Latin act that's they're going to be.
I'm not familiar, but I'm laughing because I know you speak Spanish.
I know.
And I see you doing your African American Afro Latina code switching there.
I do the code switch. I get so shy to speak Spanish. I don't know what it is. And you speak Spanish beautifully.
But I'm not Latin.
Which is wild.
People
that you speak it so well. I love it.
Well, yeah. I mean, I married a black Cuban and I'm nosy. I was nosy before that because people would always be talking about me in Spanish because in New York they think I'm Puerto Rican or something.
Yeah.
Honduran or something. No, I'm black and Italian. I'm blackity black. But and so are you, but you're Afro Latina.
I am. Yeah, my father's from Cuba. Oh, well, his family's from Cuba. He was born here. His mother is from Cuba. And then my mother's mom, my Nana, who's still living, is from Panama. She came here from Panama when she was 5. But I'm black.
Right. Well,
I'm black. We're black everywhere we go, right?
God, I used to argue with Steve Harvey about this because he was, your husband couldn't be in my fraternity because he's not black. Why
black.
is he darker than you, Steve?
Yeah.
Like, who's the definer of black? Afro-Latina is black.
It's black.
Afro-Latino is black. I remember my bonus daughter, they wouldn't let her in the Mecha.
What's Mecha?
Mexican-American.
Okay, got it.
Chicano, something.
Like a
it's
group.
like the Black Student Union for Mexican-American kids. But they said you're black, so you can't be in Mecha. But she speaks Spanish, and her dad is Cuban.
Yeah.
And her mom is Cuban. So
yeah. The representation for Afro-Latinos is very important for this very conversation. It's very important to know that on every continent, there's black people.
Yeah.
And
where did we come from, Myisha?
We came from Africa. So we all came from Africa. And so anyhow, and the African American experience and that the marriage of the two cultures, that's a whole nother topic. But
I mean, yeah, it is. But the thing about it is that it's really, folks, I really think people need to be able to understand the difference between race, nationality, ethnicity, culture, religion.
Yeah.
They all make up part of who we are.
Sure.
But yeah, like you said, another conversation for another day.
Sure.
Trinere. Adriana Milanes brothers, Sonora Dinamita. I don't like to do it because people think I'm Nautica de la Cruz.
Okay.
And I'm, because we were both on the Steve Harvey show.
Yeah.
I'm not, but this is Cali.
This is
Blaxican.
This is
Cali
Los
Blaxican.
Angeles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we are merging. We're making sure that all moms, all constituents in South LA are represented. And so we are merging the two. We're having we're having a community show is really what we're doing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I want to be cute, but I think I got to wear dancing shoes with D nice and 1500 or nothing.
I'm wearing tennis shoes.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's it's a cardio day.
It's a cardio day, and it's a bring your water day, okay? It's supposed to be hot on Saturday.
Oh, really?
Yes. Finally. Supposedly it's going to be hot today, but we'll see.
Okay,
we'll see.
And this is, shout out to our council persons.
Yeah.
For, pitching in, making it happen.
Yeah.
Especially the only mama in that group, which would be Heather Hutt.
Yes, Heather Hutt. Yes.
Yeah.
She has a beautiful family. Yeah, Heather and her team, along with the other council offices, have been working hard to put this together for the moms. There's going to be a gift for moms. There'll be food trucks.
Gift with a T, not GIF, the little video that
correct.
moves around.
GIFT. Okay. Every mom will get a gift. And just let us know that you're coming. You can register at that website that Dominique was shouting out, ilovemom.eventbrite.com. So,
are you bringing your mom? No, because you're working.
You know what? I'm going to invite her. But that's a good point. I get so in work mode. Someone's watching my kids and I'm getting there, so I forget sometimes to invite folks, but I will be inviting her.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is, I don't know. Miles, is this controversial to you? I don't know if it's controversial to you. It was controversial in my marriage. Let me just put my business out there since I'm putting it out there. On Mother's Day, I think a lot of men honor their moms, but not the mothers of their children. And I am of the opinion that you're meant to honor your mother and the mother of your children.
Yeah.
All of the mamas in your life, including your sisters, if they have kids.
Yeah.
Is that controversial, Miles?
No, I mean, I saw my dad would do. He wouldn't necessarily honor my mother for Mother's Day, but I mean, he would always be the one to tap in with his sisters, tap in with his moms, grandmoms, aunties, all that. So I feel the same way. I get you.
I mean, I know you're not married yet, and you don't have kids yet. But when you do, I mean, maybe honor is too strong a word. At least get her some flowers. Do something for her. That's your baby mama. The mama is the key word.
100%. I don't even know why this is a question. Yeah, absolutely. I think any mother deserves acknowledgement, deserves love. However you show love, if it's flowers, if it's cooking for her, if it's rubbing her back, if it's sending her away. I had a friend last year who said, honey, they sent me to get a massage. I was alone on Mother's Day, and that was the best gift. So however your mom needs to be celebrated, do what you can, even if it's a thank you and some flowers.
Yeah.
What is the expectation for the father of your child to give to you on Mother's Day?
I mean, look, I agree with Myisha. If you don't got no money, that's okay. Make me a card. Tell me thank you for doing such an amazing job and prioritizing my child above everything else. Flowers would be great. Brunch would be nice. I love the massage idea. Send me away. You take care of the kids and I'll put my feet up and watch.
Let's go to the park. I mean, unless y'all go to the park all the time. Let's do
the park all the time.
Okay, yeah. My kids are always like, Mom, we never go to the park. But yeah, whatever it may be, I feel like to put a price tag on it is that's not cool. But yeah, celebrate mothers.
This is the
acknowledge
thought that
mothers.
Counts era.
I think so.
And I do believe if you have it, then do something nice. If you have it, get her some jewelry, Miles, or some flowers. If you have it, if you don't have it, Paul says you honor the mother of your children, period, and recognize her. Trey Chi says, how do you forget about the mother of your children? And Jerry says simply acknowledging her will go a long way. And I think that's right.
I think that's right.
I mean, I'm going to bend over backwards for your mom if you're my boyfriend or husband.
Yeah, 100%.
But I don't want to be left out. I'm over here driving these rugrats every day.
Every day.
I'm where the buck stops.
Period.
And, and that's no shade on men. I know there's single dads that maybe in their houses where the buck stops. But in most cases,
sure,
mama's where the buck stops.
Mama's where the buck stops. Yep.
You're welcome to call in if you want to show love. That's another thing. You could call into a radio station and, make sure she's listening and then just tell her you love her and you appreciate the job that she's done. I'm here for that all week.
That is so special.
Yeah. 800-920-1580. Myisha, Cayro, Dominique DiPrima, KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 is an intervention. When we come forward, includes you. KBLA Talk 1580, turning pain into power.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
Founded in Los Angeles in 1986, litigation powerhouse Quinn Emanuel has deep roots in the Los Angeles community. Since 2007, we have litigated some of the largest fires on the West Coast. We are proud to be the only AmLaw 100 firm in the country to represent wildfire victims, giving affected individuals, families, and businesses the same focus and individualized attention we devote to our Fortune 500 clients. BTI Consulting has repeatedly recognized Quinn Emanuel as among the 4 law firms in-house counsel least like to oppose in any litigation, and we are often deemed the most feared. And after securing over $80 billion for our clients in various matters firm-wide, we understand why. If you have been affected by the recent wildfires in Altadena and the Palisades and would like to discuss your situation further, please contact wildfire support at QuinnEmanuel.com or call us at 213-443-3050. Quinn Emanuel is proud to sponsor Conversation Live Altadena Rising with James Farr on KBLA Talk 1580.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
At Providence, health equity is the foundation of our community health initiatives, ensuring care reaches those who need it most. Heart disease is the leading cause of death in America. African Americans face a higher risk of life-threatening issues like hypertension, the #1 cause of stroke. 55% of Black adults have high blood pressure. The good news is 80% of heart disease is preventable with healthy lifestyle changes and patient-centered care provided by the Providence Heart and Vascular Institute. From routine screenings to advanced procedures, Providence provides comprehensive care for the heart conditions that overly impact our community by ensuring patients receive treatments tailored to their needs. Let's stop the trend of being 30% more likely to die from heart-related problems. Take charge of your heart health with world-class cardiologists who deliver the compassionate care you deserve. Visit providence.org/SoCalHeart. That's providence.org/SoCalHeart to request an appointment.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Autopsy Initiative provides a second autopsy free of charge for victims' families who have lost their loved ones due to a police-related death. The services offered through the initiative include the completion of a second autopsy, disclosure of preliminary findings, and a final autopsy report. A police-related death is when an individual is harmed by police officers using deadly force, which results in an individual's death. Police-related death includes in-custody deaths, including those that arise during contact with law enforcement officers during arrest, pursuit, booking, transport, or incarceration. The Autopsy Initiative has a team of board-certified pathologists on call. An autopsy request may be completed by anyone with a close relationship with the victim, which may include the victim's spouse, partner, relative, close friend, or lawyer. To request a free second autopsy for a victim of police violence, please visit knowyourrightscamp.com. That's knowyourrightscamp.com. Then click on Autopsy, then click on Request. At KBLA, we believe in justice for victims of police violence. We say their names, and we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
We knew you'd stick around. This is LA's home for progressive talk radio. Be heard. Welcome back to KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back indeed. My guest is Myisha Cayro this hour. Myisha, tell folks how to follow you on the socials.
Yes, you can find me on all socials at Love Myisha. That's LOVEMYISHA.
So we got more folks in the chat. Morris Phillips says, not me. My wife is the mama. She's going to the concert on Sunday. Also, we appreciate her very much. Shout out to your wife. Yeah, and we will have tickets for that other concert next hour. This concert, the tickets are free, and all you have to do is go to
ilovemom.eventbrite.com. Easy to remember, ilovemom.eventbrite.com.
Molly Bell says, I have no children, but I'm called Mother, Mother Nature, Mother Earth, Grandmother, and so many more. Mama is a noun, pronoun, verb.
Yes.
Show me, mother, me, actions. I can go on, mother. Yes. And then Jerry says, what about the hypothetical mother who's lacking, lost custody, revolving door, emotional, micro abuse, etc.? All of them, I think, deserve love, light, and acknowledgement.
Yeah, absolutely.
How are you feeling about people who say Happy Mother's Day to single dads who, single parent dads who do all the, parenting.
I understand the sentiment. It's not something for me to judge. Yeah. I personally don't resonate with on Father's Day, if I was a single mom, to be told Happy Father's Day.
Yeah, I don't want that either. That baby has a father.
100%.
And it ain't me.
And it ain't me. Yeah. But, I'm also very not gender, I respect gender nonconformists. And so I just.
Yeah, same.
If it floats your boat and it's positive energy, it's coming from a good place, you can have it.
Right. Yeah, for sure. If you want to be told Happy Mother's Day, Happy Father's Day, it's fine with me. That doesn't float my boat.
Sure.
I think that kids need mothers and fathers if possible.
Mm-hmm.
Or, not always possible. Maybe some people have 2 moms or 2 dads.
Yeah.
But to me, those people need mentors who are women or men so they can have balance.
Okay.
Range.
Yeah.
Various role models.
Yeah.
That said, we appreciate you single dads. I'm not trying to leave you out.
100%.
It's just, back to what I said yesterday. I quote KRS-One, like trying to teach a dog to be a cat. It just doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
It just don't work.
It doesn't work.
But everyone who's in that mama role deserves love. So happy Mother's Day, Myisha.
Thank you. And happy Mother's Day to you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I know. College mama is a whole new ball game for me.
I just became junior high mama, and that is just different. Okay.
Oh, junior high mama. Those were tough times. I think I had my own cot in the principal's office. Why leave here? Y'all going to call me in 10 more minutes. Come back in.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I also love that our council members and Bridge Street are teaming up to honor moms and to give us something free to do for our moms or for ourselves if no one else is celebrating. Girl, if nobody else is celebrating, you come on out. Get you a babysitter. Come on out and you can hang out with me because I'm the MC. So that means I'm going to be there.
Dominique will be there. Best MC in town.
Thank you.
And I just want to say, if you're part of the LA community, come out, whether you're a mom or not, because we all can. It's a celebration for all of us. So it's a family affair.
Yeah. And that's at the Michelle and Barack Obama Sports Complex.
Yes.
If you haven't been to it, it's right there on Rodeo. It used to have a different name.
Rancho Cienega Park.
Right. It's some of us still say Fox Hills Mall and Rancho Cienega Park.
I still say Fox Hills Mall, but anyhow.
Yeah, but it is now the Michelle and Barack Obama Sports Complex. It's been really fixed up.
Yep.
And again, you need a ticket to get in. But it's a free ticket.
It is a free ticket. ilovemom.eventbrite.com. All we're asking is for your name and your email so we could remind you about the show. But that gets you in. So
we can bring our own water.
Yep.
Can we bring our own snacks?
Yeah, you could bring your own snacks. Yep.
Okay.
There will also be food trucks on site.
Okay.
But you could bring your own snacks.
Girl, hopefully there'll be lots of food trucks. But when I'm on stage, I never, get to go to the food trucks.
We will make sure you eat, Dominique.
I know you'll look out for me, Myisha. You always do.
Yeah.
But I'll be there all day. So we're gonna be having fun regardless.
Who are you excited to see perform?
1,500 or nothing.
Yay.
I always have so much fun when they perform. I love Rasan Patterson.
Okay.
I've never seen Leela James.
Same.
So that'll be great.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm looking forward to. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a big mariachi girl, but it's always kind of puts you in the spirit of we're in LA and we outside.
Yeah, we outside. Yeah, they'll be opening the show. And I think I failed to mention Fernando Pullum, the youth are coming out to open the show right before the mariachi.
The youth, it's an orchestra, it's not an orchestra, performing arts band. And I love them.
Yes.
They do a lot of Bridge Street events. They're really talented,
They're
like
very
jazz
talented.
Players and stuff. And that'll be a fun way to start the show.
These are our kids. So it's always good to see them in that light.
And Fernando Pullum is, if you're not familiar, one of the gems of Los Angeles. If you're not familiar and you got kids, you should check it out because they have a lot of free programming and classes and stuff for your little artsy kid.
Yep. What she said. Yep.
And I'm also looking forward to Trinere just because you said it's Latin R&B.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not familiar, but I have a feeling, it might be really good.
Yeah. Agreed. I have not heard her. She is coming out with a DJ, so that should be fun. Excited to hear her perform along with Sonora Dinamita and the Adrian Milanes brothers. Like we said earlier in the show, there's going to be Latin acts for our Latin constituents, as well as these R&B acts and D-Nice, which I'm actually really looking forward to seeing D-Nice.
Heck yeah. I already know he's going to have us dancing. That's why I said I'm going to be in some flat shoes.
And DJ PZB is our house DJ, who we absolutely love.
PZB.
Yes, it's going to be PZB and Dominique keeping us together in between acts.
DJ PZB. She tours with everybody.
Everybody.
She tours with Rakim, Salt and Pepper,
Chris Brown,
Chris Breezy. Yes, and she's great. I mean, she really knows her music.
She knows her music, and she's got good energy, and she's a good person. So that's always fun.
Yeah. Black women's excellence will be on display.
I love that. That is I love that.
Jassandra wants to know, what time does the doors open?
Doors open at 11. And what I will say is, for those of you who like to come late because maybe the good acts are at the end, I wouldn't use that formula this time, because the good seats are at the beginning. So
right.
come when doors open.
And plus, you don't know. Like, I've been at I don't have time to tell this story, but at Nickerson Gardens, for the Top Dog Entertainment event, boom, all of a sudden, Kendrick decides to come out. Like, you don't know, the manager could say, oh, no, Rasan has to go on right now.
Exactly.
So come early.
Exactly.
Tell us one more time, Myisha, how to find tickets.
ilovemom.eventbrite.com. ilovemom.eventbrite.com.
2 per person, but you can have as many servings as you want.
Yes.
Come back, get you a family pack.
Yes. Thank you so much for allowing us to come on and talk about this.
Really nice to see you, Myisha.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. It's perfect time to call me, 800-920-1580. We've got a lot to talk about. I'm Dominique DiPrima, News, Traffic, and Sports, right now, only right here.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. There's already dozens of delays and cancellations at Newark Airport today in New Jersey following a week of massive disruptions at one of the nation's busiest airports. That is frustrating flyers.
The flight here, we were delayed 6 hours, and the flight home 5 hours.
Mayor Philip Murphy is urging Congress to prioritize tech upgrades for the airport. New York City Mayor Eric Adams is addressing a Times Square attack where 3 migrant teens, including a 12-year-old, were arrested for assaulting police. Video shows a group throwing objects at officers trying to stop a robbery. The suspects reportedly lived in nearby migrant shelters. And Beyonce received a cease and desist from the Las Vegas Sphere after her Cowboy Carter tour visuals showed a giant version of herself picking up and playing with the venue. The Sphere claimed the imagery.
Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000